Welcome. We are streaming here live from Perth, Western Australia. It's 2:45 on the first day of the month. Pinch punch. No returns. What do we say? Rabbit. Now, we're here to tune into the energy for you guys, Virgo. Now, you guys do need to be mindful of the transit at the moment, and there's particular zodiac signs that, with aspects that are made in astrology, it will dictate, ailments and things to that degree. And some of the zodiac signs that between April and May that do need to be super cautious are, let me name them. And this is due to the research I've been doing and connecting with the astrology. Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Taurus, Pisces, Virgo, Leo. For those of us during this time, we need to actually practice caution. It doesn't have to be directly connected to what's going on in the collective, but it's immunity-related energies and, really balancing your energies, balancing your chakras, looking after yourself, healthy. It's playing up, resting. Hi, yeah. So as I mentioned, Mark, you know this, we follow the astrology. Most of the zodiac signs between April and May that will be impacted more so. And obviously, a lot of themes for Cancer, Capricorn, Taurus, Pisces, Leo, because the sun is connected to Leo, Aries, Libra, and Virgo. Those energies do need to be mindful of balance, health, resting, recuperating. Definitely because Pluto is going retrograde, and I'm hoping this isn't lagging too much. My crown chakra always affects it. So I'll sit back and I'll leave it. So these are some of the things we do need to be mindful of. Now, also, we are going to be having a super full moon in Libra, which I'll do a separate video about, but I'm mentioning these things astrologically. And as the weeks progress, I may tune in week by week and give you an update for the energy forecast. Is this still lagging? It's irritating me. I hope it's not lagging. It's not Mercury retrograde. Okay, Virgo, you guys have your 6th house activated. Now, Aquarius, Saturn and Aquarius retrograding for the next 3-4 months. What's 4 months roughly? A lot of this is going to be showing you about what's going to be happening in 2021. We will be having Saturn going direct. But during this time with Pluto retrograde, around the 25th it's occurring in Capricorn, we need to be looking and paying attention to signs. We need to be looking at trends, looking at what's coming up for us. Now, Aries and Chiron for you guys at a collective level is your 8th house. Now, with the 8th house, what you need to be mindful of, it's very much connecting in with Mars and Pluto. It's birth, deaths, endings. It's almost like your assessment time of looking at where the foundation was built and what you're doing and what you need to be doing maybe to change it up. And obviously those of us that are in hermit mode, we're looking at these things and we're fine-tuning things. And during the time that any planet is retrograde, 9 times out of 10, yes, energetically things can be shifting and changing, but it doesn't mean to say you won't have forward movement. It more shows it in a very deep, clarifying way what is and what isn't working. Now, we did have a lot of, hi Tammy, we did have a lot of aspects, and we're still having the energy of Aries coming through this month. Any squaring, conjunction energies, quincunx, and especially to Black Moon Lilith and Chiron that was occurring in the last few months. We've had all this Aries energy. It is deemed as the planet of war, but it's also really fine-tuning it with all the Pisces energy that we had in February and March and Mercury, where we're looking at things at a very simplistic level and saying, okay, at a psychological level, what is important and what isn't it? So during this time, you guys are going to be really focusing on work, your career sector, what it's going to be looking like. This 6th house energy is, even what is your job? What is your role in society moving forward? Because Aquarius energy is very much connected to collective, but it's also, with what's happening in the globe, what will the new trends be coming through? You guys are so clean, it's not funny. My sister's a Virgo, Mark's a Virgo aspects. And, you know, Virgos and Libras do gel quite well because of the fact that we have that clean nature. And it's another reason why, you know, this transit, what you do tend to find is it's really clarifying the importance for cleanliness. It's close to godliness. So being mindful of that, but you can, in astrology, when aspects are made to Virgo, which again in August, let me check, Leo energy. Yeah, I feel energy shifting. Let me check. Got my astrology all down on the table. Let's see what's coming through for you guys. Now I'm going to pull for health. I'm going to pull for money and employment. There you go. I'm going to pull for family and love. Not forgetting love. Even though, even the Leo King mentioned this, a lot of people at the moment are so caught up in the energy of what's going on in the collective. Oh, okay, 3 for health. Spirituality, I'm telling you. The Trinity. Okay, we're going to have Mercury in Aries on the 11th. The Sun is going to be in Taurus on the 19th. Mercury then will be moving into Taurus, and there's sort of these themes I feel that are coming through. It's like really this value system of what is and what isn't valuable. What do you need to let go of? What are you moving forward with? But I do feel, even at a psychic level, I'm feeling your energy very visual at the moment, very visual, watching trends, and your zodiac sign is really meticulous with fine detailed energy. So I feel you will actually pick up the collective of what's going on. I do feel almost very not so much necessarily psychic, although all of us collectively are psychic. It's more to the point where you're seeing themes and you're seeing problems very similar to a Libran when they're tuning into things. You know, you're playing it out in your mind before it's occurred. So you're really on the ball with your A game with this energy. Now, you do have the Ace of Wands as your crowning energy. Yes. Okay, this is what I mean by the way you're looking at things. It's almost like this irony, like looking at things like it's not rocket science. You can't fathom why in the collective, why people aren't understanding just basic common sense. Some of these things, yes, you might be a bit critical towards yourselves this month. There also could be this theme coming through with you guys where, you know, there are things coming that you're not seeing. And this could even be something you're tuning into, like in a worrisome frequency, that you're sensing something is coming, but you're not quite sure what it is. It could actually be paranoia, but I'm feeling it's more this vibrational energy, deeply tuning into the frequency of something's missing. You know, you're sensing it, you're not seeing it, you don't feel you're completely prepared for it. This can even be, you know, within the things that are becoming completely apparent to you that you weren't prepared for, that now you're looking at it and you're trying to trust the process. Now we're going to tune into it further. Let's have a look at where this is all going. Eighth house energy. I think you guys are feeling that, you know, with all this overload of information, and you're going to find during May, this is what's going to come through. Now, with Venus being in Gemini, it is very Mercury energy. It's this big change. Now, with the 8th house, you being completely ready, is not going to prepare you for everything, okay? Because the 8th house, your wounds will link from building pyramids. So spiritually speaking, and it's unique that it's come up in your crowning energy. It's like, even if you were prepared, even if you had everything you need, it does not immunize us against transformation and change. So it's, some of you are looking at it from the perspective of what will be. Others of you could directly be deeply, deeply concerned. Now, your crowning energy, Don't be going over the top, Virgo, okay? There's healthy, we've got a limit over here. And look, you need to, I'm by no means minimalising what is going on in the collective right now, but Virgo being a clean sign, you know, you guys, it makes, you know, complete sense. You're like, wash your hands, do the right thing. And this isn't the way the read's going, but there's also at an intimate level, you're being quite cautious. You're like, is this synchronistic? Like, this is even with romantic partners. You're like, okay, like, we need to be looking at this. I mean, over here, Twin and I made a joke because we could go to the shops and come back. That was it. Some areas, people can't even be doing that. And it's a healthy kind of distance that one is supposed to stand from each other, which is approximately 1.5. And it was like we were doing the, you know, and I was saying, this is as far as you can be. This is almost the energy that's coming through with this card. I'll let you read it. Apologies for the nails. We're getting rational here. We're going Virgo, keeping clean. I attract romance filled with divine love. I have a healthy, intimate life. Now, I'm using the correct word because YouTube does not tolerate certain words. This is in reverse. Like, you know, some of you are reflecting on maybe the blessing in the sky. And look, with that energy, Venus is going to be in Gemini. The communication is going to be the key. Work with me, internet. I can't get too close to the screen because it just flicks it out. Let me see what's coming through. It's just it's a unique read, this one. You guys are really unique this month. Don't be getting too clean, okay? Don't be getting too clean. It's like, I think some of these things, it's like, it could be for some of us, we're getting a bit over the top. Some of you, it may be that if you're, you know, going to and from work, you're having to really be on your A game. Those of you who are, you know, in the front line and you're working. This is also, how do I explain it? You guys are the best suited people to be hospital workers, to be, you know, working in analytics, working in, you know, like I said, really looking at detail orientations. And I mean, you guys, if you're frontline workers, you're on your A game with it. You're also reflecting back how, with a tidy up in your life of the things you wanted, you know, we all are in the right place of where we're meant to be right now. And I know that sounds ironic, but that's sort of the energy that's coming through. It's really being at the right place at the right time. It is easy for me to express myself. I am understood. I hear, and this is the thing, your communication at the moment is, you know, about your ideas. They're going to be very important in the collective. So if you feel the need to share them, yes, from the blue energy with throat chakra, communicate them in an orderly fashion about some of the lessons. And I feel everything of what we're going through right now is going to serve a purpose. I'm getting that some of you that aren't working, you're looking at this and you're thinking, gosh, you know, just about to walk out the door into employment and then, you know, this happens sort of thing. Some of you, it's that in your industry that you're working in right now, you can see some flaws in it. You may even be deciding that you want to jump into your dream career and create your abundance on your own. This is a time, you know, with April, it's really a good time to see the cracks in the foundation of what is working and what's not working, and then start problem solving. And again, I am feeling you guys are going to be real trendsetters, and I feel you guys are going to be on your A game moving, you know, through this month. Now, Taurus is your, let's have a look. I've got the chart underneath. I'm bouncing back and forth between astrology when I see subject matters pop up. Ninth house. My daughter's singing karaoke. I'm telling you, this is the most bizarre day. spiritually. I want to put the charts underneath. I feel if you guys are needing to network, even if you feel you're quite stagnant right now, it's the time to actually be sending things out. Don't underestimate how quick this energy is moving. You know, some of you may be feeling as though this dormant energy is going to be there for a very long time, but I'm really feeling no. I'm feeling as much as we are seeing something shift in the collective, and yes, at a financial level, collectively, it's going to shift. I'm still feeling as though if you're in this mindset that you can't move forward because you're housebound, there's preparing for what's to come in a sense, not knowing completely what's coming, but preparing in a sense that if you're needing to send resumes out and you're needing to do things to that degree, or your networking communication is going to be your area. Now, with Mercury, you know, to balance the ninth house out, it is communication, which again is Mercury. We did have a lot of that energy coming through, and I am saying networking is going to be incredibly important. Try not to get down about this. Anything that comes up, you know, look at it and assess it, but I'm not feeling it's a permanent thing. It's almost giving you clues about what isn't working and what's going to be best for you. Some of you also may almost feel that you're needing assistance from other people around you, or people directly are needing help, you know, from you. So it can go 50-50 in that swing, but no, it's not going to be the same as the past, that we're entering into a very, very new time. Now, I do feel for some of you, if you are single, you know, and you're entering into this time, it can be a very frightening time where you feel you don't have backup and you feel you're it. So there can be an imbalance within your masculine and feminine energy. Again, if we're being given the gift of intuition, meditation, this is a time we're really going to need to step up our A game in this energy, because with the Aries energy, it is very flighty, fiery. So, you know, coming to a perspective where we can look at our communication of what we're actually saying, we're going to actually look at ways that we can healthily deal with some of this adversity. Now, some of you in the past may have been away from a connection. Some of you also are actually looking at connections and accommodation, and I'm feeling they're quite a large kind of thing for you guys at the moment. I'm seeing two main subject matters, and it is home-related dynamics and how do I put it? It feels romance, but more relationship. You know, is it to the point where you're feeling that right now this would be great to have a relationship, so we weren't moving through this frequency alone? Or is it from a separate area? Okay, now you've got three energies. You've got, but again, remember that some of these things are wound related. So you've got accommodation. Thanks, Star. You've got accommodation. You have your finances and love, but lover in reverse. Remember, these energies of memories and trigger points, you know, fearing that there's no harmony, so therefore it's going to be the same. That is really coming up in the collective right now. But remember, these very, very unique times that we're moving into, they're not the same. Some of you, I do feel during this transit of Saturn and Pluto retrograde, the Juno energy for you guys, let me look. I'm going to become more organized, forgive me. Next reading's Twin Flame. Let's have a look at Juno for you guys. Brain retrieval, second house, yes. I thought as much. Okay, now in the past, some things were taken from you. No sooner did you retrieve things, this is in various areas of your life. There was a point in your life where things in your mind you were moving towards and they were extremely balanced. And this is where potential wounds can come from. Your second house placement with Juno in Libra can link into your professional resources, your physical goods, your land, the things that are outside of you. And again, some astrology does mention the fact that we're moving away from abundant external instant gratification energies and to the internal. Yes and no, we'll have a balance of the both, but wounds are coming from there because in the past when you built structures and you attained goods, potentially due to separations or leaving employment and the glass ceiling not opening for you. There were scenarios that played out there. So the only thing you directly have to correlate is the direct energy that we're going through right now and the past. But this is not the same energy. This is a time where through adversity, you are going to be able to look at innovation and different ways in which we can achieve this new scenario. And I was even thinking about having an interview with various people, because I did nursing for years, to interview people that were older, that moved through world wars, because there's, in every shadow energy, there are still humbling energies. There's hopes, there's dreams, and there's energies to that degree. So we need to actually remove the ego and see that these things are, you know, it's not all doom and gloom. It's transformation and change. And it's just because we don't have the correlating understanding of what that's going to be, we're allowing pictures to be painted in our mind. Now, in your finance and career sector, now remember, what you're doing this year, even if you feel you're immobilized, it is very temporary. Trust me, it's very temporary. Use your time wisely. If you've been given the gift of being home, and we call it a curse, if you're wasting your time, it's a gift from universe, you need to get on your A game, because your career sector, for the next 4 months, the work you do, you're going to reap what you sow. If that is problem solving, if that's networking, if it's utilizing different ways to achieve your finances, this can be selling things you don't need, simplifying. You need to be doing that, because you're on your A game when it comes to your finances, and when it comes to you being in a league of your own. But you need to be creative with your mind. You need to boss up, okay? Boss up time, 6th house. Now, any trend or theme you see playing out this month, and it's really the whole time Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius, because your 6th house is activated. Get the themes that are coming through with Saturn and Pluto. Now, Pluto's going retrograde on the 25th. Using that time to do that is going to give you an idea of what you're in for in 2021, because it will be going direct and will slightly retrograde and go back again. But this is your small window to have a blessing. It's almost like, the only way I can describe it is, Back to the Future. We're having a Back to the Future moment. We're in the tornado. We're having a Back to the Future moment to have a view of the future, only for it to go direct again, and then for you to have the rest of the year to achieve the balance and the change of where you need to re-steer that ship so you can be prepared. Now, your advice. This is where you need to become inspired by your projects. You need to, and it's exactly what I just said, okay? So it's be on your A game in this area, because you guys are really moving into a growth energy of your career sector. Okay, the people around you. Oh, gee, okay. The first thing that popped into mind is, it's not you, it's me. And that's sort of what's going on. You may be looking at people around you being slightly triggered, and you're looking at them going, wow. Okay. This can be even with your actions. You know, you may all of a sudden be saying something and they're thinking you're away with the fairies. Now, I get messages uniquely. Yes, I connect with the astrology. Yes, psychically I get interpretations, visions, as well, and images. The person on the card here is looking back at the moon, and we're having a super full moon in Libra, which again, Libra is currently in Juno in retrograde. So a theme of that energy potentially can be playing out: marriages, contracts, partnerships. This can be employment, people we're linking in with, things that we're linking in with, tribe energy, again, romance house, Libra energy. The 5 denotes change. there is blockages because potentially, an example, if you're running a career from home, currently in lockdown, and you're with the tribe, it may be problematic, but it's finding creative ways and actually seeing ways around it. The energy of where we're standing in our way will always be due to these spiritual blockages. You know, I've been saying for the last few years, especially with all the retrogrades, 2017, 18, 19 was very, very hard work. Now we're moving 2020, and many of us that had that energy of dark night of the soul, ascension symptoms with retrogrades and directs, we've really alchemized that energy inside us. It was moving towards, those of us who have done a lot of spiritual work, getting to the place where you can, even through change, Uranus and Taurus, you can sit in that storm and see how the change can benefit you. During the time, no, it may not feel nice, but if you've been through enough BS, you are in awareness that this too shall change. And after that, what are you wanting? Now, each eclipse cycle takes 6 months. So currently at the moment, from the first eclipse point we had in January, it was in Cancer, which is family, and I'm talking about family, but I'm also talking about the energy of connections, home, our physical foundation. We had the eclipse in Cancer. 6 months for that energy to roll out, for that transformative cycle. Already you will see 1 to 2 months prior to the next eclipse phase, you're going to see those energies cycling out. So this is a very karmic cycle we're ending out. We have the nodes in May changing, Cancer and Capricorn, so both at a level of within society, our governments, kings, queens, marshals, banking systems. It all directly impacts you and what you get and how you navigate your life compass. But it's all these new learnings. So this is a very karmic cycle we're ending, and it's quite heavy. But these changes that are coming through, you need to be actually looking at. There could be conflict and bad blood between energies. This time can actually resolve these things. Try not to sweep it under the carpet. Okay, your advice is, let's get this all out in the open. Very Virgo. Okay, don't walk into the fire. I don't know this, and I'm not like legitimately say walking into the fire. You get my gist. Walk into the problem to be the change. If it can't change, it's an acceptance of that, but that will mean something for you, Virgo. That can either mean you're reaching a closure point or that the people involved need to reach their bloody closure point. Nevertheless, it may be environmental if you are, because your accommodation's in reverse, and this is not for all of you. If the direct environment does not serve the purpose any longer, you may need to, in a future tense energy, transform it, move things around, or you directly. You get my gist? Because this is something that is needing resolve. Now, let's get a clarifier. Okay, some of you might not have the money right now, but you'd really love to. This can be, again, with the second house energy, it's about, upgrading things, changing things around. You've had faith in it. I feel most of this is going to be more so in awareness of where this change is coming. And I feel really with the Uranian energy in Taurus, we're going to have a new moon in Taurus on the 3rd. This is where it's shaking it up between the super full moon in Libra, where there's imbalances of justice. This can be within society, within your home, where directly after that, moving into the new moon in Taurus, this is where the new value system is going to come through and be like, look, we need to be mature about this. This is what we're going to do. And it will be more decision-orientated energy, assessing the value and assessing the balance and actually having it resolve. Even if you're, if you do need to leave an environment or leave it, I don't feel you guys leaving this subject on the back burner. I feel this is something that's going to be quite in your face sort of thing, that it needs to be dealt with, that it's, yeah, okay, I'm telling you, This to me, widower. Again, the way I receive messages is different. Now, on the 25th, and I mentioned that near the new moon in Taurus, around April 25th is when we are having Pluto going retrograde. This is a frequency of something that if it can't be balanced, like you can't ignore it. If it can't be balanced, it's going to completely transform. Now, your health energy. It's affecting your health. Situations around you that you have outgrown, there needs to be an acknowledgement of these, because separate to what's going on in the collective, this time is fine-tuning us to the point we are becoming extremely realistic. Extremely realistic. This is not healthy. Right, this will affect my vibration. You will come to a place where, especially through awakenings, and I had this conversation with my landlord yesterday. He asked me how I'm handling lockdown energy. And I said, well, to be quite honest, I have been in this energy for 4 years. A process of my awakening did end up being with ascension symptoms. And as a spiritual psychic medium, you become extremely vulnerable to vibrations. So at a point, you do actually go into hermit mode. It's quite natural. It's part of the point, which is where you get your integration, and you have to, your ego naturally is purged because of the direct reality that you have no one else to blame but to look inside and to dig those wounds up. And then coming very comfortable with, if you were the only person like Wilbur on an island, what do you want? What do you need? What do you like? And if you can't directly look at those energies and your cup's not full, you will be able to key point where these real problems are. And I do feel many of you have, and this is why it's becoming very, very 3D. Okay. I can live with odd vibrations now. So after a point, I was able to reintegrate where I connected back with society, so to speak. But it was balanced. Balanced to a point where I didn't own the vibration, but if it directly impacts the environment, not just you, this is more environmental, then yes, it's problematic. So there potentially for some of you could be an issue with the home. So it doesn't necessarily have to be people in the home. It could actually be separate things like repairs being needed to be done, health related. So have a look around, any damp energy needs to be assessed. I don't need to tell you guys, you're Virgo, okay? Okay, so it's like, look at these things, because you're going to be aware of it. I love how clean Virgos are. I don't know, potentially you guys could be triggering other people around you. Or you're dealing with a lot of people that are in a hurry, like, oh my goodness, and this could even be, this is something that related dynamics can be this. After you get fatigued of tuning into it, it will actually kind of simmer down. But definitely use the communication house with Mercury to actually keep grounded if you need assistance outside of you. But for many of you, this is separate people, and you're sort of looking at them like, calm your farm, like, calm down. This can be very taxing on your energy and your health. It's really helping you appreciate the smaller things, but some of these things are karmic lessons for them. Some of it directly can be on your side of the fence where you're having to look at it and be very, very realistic. And I'm almost seeing with the scales, it's like you're weighing up the pros and cons and you're trying to decide what's best for you. But I feel this is more mental energy, like mental, could be mental health. Again, I'm not a doctor. I can't advise you in that area. But from a psychic perspective, it feels that this can be even a connection that isn't working, separate to you. It can be the one you're in, but I feel it's more, energies surrounding that don't bind well. Yeah, coming to an end, Pluto. During this time, I'm telling you, this is the window where it's really going to be creeping up. So be mindful. Now, energy of romance. Okay, you're going to delay on making any major decisions. There's a delay. No. I'm doing my last video for the day. Please do not bug me right now. No, you may not eat the pizza. That's for dinner.
It's for dinner. This is for one person.
No.
Okay.
Delay making a decision. Don't be laughing, Mark. I feel there's a shake-up in the energy of the relationship. I feel like something is changing to the point it can never go back to the way it was before. I'm also feeling as though you are being very cautious, but you do feel that there's something missing. And it really does make sense because, you know, between now and May is a huge assessment time, but it's very much to cultivate and look at where you're going from here. It has been relentless for 3 years. I'll have to do a comedy channel for that one. No. My father was very strict on me. It's to the left. Okay, this is like... Some of you guys are going to be having physical conversations. Now, of course, I read for single, couple, and on the fence. So I'm going to give you the way this is coming through. Let me have a look. Okay, there's big decisions here. Big decisions, big changes, big shifts. I do feel, even if you are in a couple, there's processing going on like a super compressor at a very singular level, at a very personal level. And I really do feel people are going through, although the energy is really around this time with me actually looking forward, we're coming together, you'll find that alchemizes first inside before it alchemizes out. And yes, currently with lockdown energy, those energies transfer. You're being very cautious. This is an assessment time. You're like not jumping. You're reading. This could be also, for some, it could be codependent on your side or the other person's side. But I do feel for some reason there is, be you're in a relationship or not, there's a distance. Now, the distance can be due to circumstances. It can be due to employment. And also a lot coming up and going on. I'm telling you, Mercury, work with me. You don't want to be codependent. You want to be completely independent. At a spiritual level, yeah, you don't mind, but at a financial level, no. And I just feel like a lot of people are going through that at the moment, where you're wanting that independence, but this fear-based frequency is coming up, where potentially, you know, you're thinking, I may need to be. This can even be with the Capricorn energy, with Pluto going retrograde. This fear-based frequency linking in with society, you know, can we be codependent on that? Could be a government payment or something to that degree. But within this relationship sector, obviously because your career sector's highlighted, I think this is something you're really meditating upon. The balance, the protection, the finances. Who in the house is dealing with a co-parenting energy? Because I'm feeling co-parenting energy coming through. For some of you. I feel a major decision is about to be made. Virgo, are you being sneaky? Yep. Okay, let me show you what I'm saying. This is something very creative you're looking at. I feel you have your body in two directions. there's sort of this visual I'm being shown where I'm hearing you are creating a way out, but it's a way out of a problem. Yeah, no, don't let it upset you, because this is a general read, okay? Psychically, if I'm tuning into you individually, there seems to be like this. It's like you're problem solving. That's what's coming through. It's like you're problem solving, and you're looking at it, and you're like, I need to look after this, and I need to look after that. But how am I going to bring this together? That's what I'm saying. Especially with the rocks split in between, it's like you feel picky in the middle. There is going to be movement forward, but I'm seeing things balance out. More to do with family, more to do with your finances and things to that degree, as the planets move through and the nodes shift. Right now, though, you're dealing with things pertaining to this time. It's like future tense. That's sort of what's coming through. You're looking at it and you're going, right, these things need to be addressed. Yes, okay, there's no movement right now. This can be in any shape or form. It could be because you're in hermit mode, or it could be directly connected to twin flame path. But yeah, the creative energy, it's on your mind. You're quite confused about how you're going to achieve this. But for some of you, it's like there is a blockage, but it's something that you're trying to work out. You're trying to work out how to solve it, but I'm not feeling like you feel embarrassed to communicate it. It's almost very Capricorn. It's almost very I've got this. Virgos, you guys are very independent on what I gentle and independent. Yeah. You're not allowing other people to know this is playing out in your mind. But this is like a mathematical equation you guys are going over in your mind. Again, as I mentioned, very separate. It's almost like this whole scenario that's playing out during this time with what you had planned is quite inconvenient. And I know that sounds, I'm not trying to be mean. It's like connected to the adverse subject matters you were dealing with. It's like poor times. Poor times. What do they want you to know? Pretty okay. They're being very ambitious. Okay, you feel stuck with this creativity. Like, okay, how do we bring this together? At the heart of it, this person is in your heart. In the past, you felt that maybe with the Jupiter energy, you had missed an opportunity. Maybe you guys weren't as open about some of these plans and ideas and blockages. And, even with having to do too many things, having to think of all the, again, two things, split in two ways. If I do this, I'll do this. Do I wait for you to call, or do I communicate my truth, or do they call? And it's the communication energy. You don't know what to do. You've crosswise, or you've been thinking of two direct scenarios, but it's confusing you. Try and get an amethyst to help you gain the clarity. Because I do feel nobody's going to be able to manipulate you on this factor. It's something at a very personal level of how to articulate this to the person. Hi, Antonella. Now, there are cracks in the foundation, and you're being patient with the clearing up of this. And, during all the Aries energy, it was very difficult for communication in general. It was difficult from a perspective that it was fiery, and no one way was right or wrong. It was just there was, especially in my life, whoever you're going to talk to, it wasn't going to come out straight. Now that we're moving into April, potentially, yes, all these issues we've had, Malachite. And you guys are linked to higher heart chakra as well. So This is where communication is going to become quite unique. It can be agitated, but it's where solutions can come. And you do have Malachite as the heart of the brood, very much connecting with romance, which is